So today I'm going to make a tutorial on how to make a truck from this to this. Stick around and I'll show you how. So before we get started, the first things you want to do is make sure you have the correct equipment. So what you will first need to buy, if you already haven't got it, is 2 lots of paint. This is I bought these off eBay for about £3. It's acrylic paint, and this one is white X2, and you don't need much of this one. It is only a small job, but you need quite a bit of the red one, which is X7, same company. So yeah, you need that first. To go along with it, obviously you will need a paintbrush. You don't want it too big, the little one will do. You also need a set of pliers, a metal file, something like this, anything that could file metal, a little hacksaw to cut bits of metal off the trailer, a screwdriver, some sandpaper, and a little bit of wood. You don't need a big bit of wood. This little bit of wood would do fine. It did me alright. So you don't need the expensive wood, just enough to make the model. So what we're going to do first, we're going to work on the truck. So we take the trailer off and stick it to the side. So the first thing you want to do, I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to tell you how to do it, is we want to swap these axles around. And what you do is get a pair of pliers or something. Don't cut the axle, but you just keep pushing this off, try and pull it off. Take the tyres off first, like that. And then you want to push this bit off, and eventually, it takes a bit of work, but eventually it does pop off. Make sure you do try to catch it, as it will fly far away. You also want to do it with this axle as well, and there are little plastic stoppers in here. Do not lose this, or the axle won't work as it should anymore. So once you've got both of the tyres and the actual wheels off, you want to take the other bit out, the axle bit out, and then just swap them over and just push the wheel you've just taken off back into the axle. Simple as that. What you also want to do on the truck is paint this side and this side grey. Mine's white because I didn't have any grey paint, but just make it grey because it is that on the model. It is a tank. The final bit you want to do on the truck is to take the high aerodynamic kit off. You can just you can file it off with a metal file, or I did cut it off with a little hacksaw, and then just smooth it down with a file. And I just put a bit of card on top. You can put something else on top if you want to make a flat bit. And the only thing else to do is just put the name, registration and fleet number back on and the back. That is as simple as it can get on the truck. So let's move on to the trailer. So now moving on to the trailer, this is going to be the most difficult part. So if you don't think you could do it, I wouldn't attempt this model yet. Perhaps try the brick trailer first, as it is a bit more simpler. But if you still want to do it, I'm going to show you right now. You first want to take this box, the actual container bit off. So I'm going to get a ratchet, and then we're just going to take the screws out. Finish it off with a screwdriver. Cut to the side and use the back one as well. So once you take both of the screws out, you can take the whole, then this bit comes out like this. You can get rid of this bit now, you don't actually need it at all anymore. So what we got now is just a base trailer which we'll be using. We're going to get rid of the side skirts. we don't need any of these this time. So we just simply pull it out. It's a bit difficult. Use your strength, and they just pop out eventually. Come out like that, and then we just keep going along and doing it. Another one gone. So to get these side skirts off, what you want to do is take these screws out. So just use a ratchet here, make it a bit faster and easier. You won't need to keep any of these screws, so you can just throw them away, keep them for spares in the future. So once you've done this, taking all the screws out, this wheel unit just pops off like this. And now you can just take these off, the rest of the sky sets. These come off really easily, so there. You can throw these away again, you don't need them at all for this model. So now we've got the chassis of the trailer. What you want to do is get rid of the screw holes and ridges along here. So what you want to use that for is a metal file, which you just file it all the way along until you get a nice flat edge. So once you've done that, you want to start making the actual shape for this trailer. So you want to cut, you want to leave a little bit along here, which is so you want to leave a little bit along here, which measures, for mine, is about 2 3/4 centimeters, 2.7 centimeters roughly. You want to cut it along there. You want to take all this side of this up to the ridge. When you get to here, you want to leave this little section here and get rid of everything else along here. You do not need any more, just this little one here. And also you want to take off the back of the trailer, which is there. That is where you will cut. So you have 1, 2, take this bit off here, because the trailer here is shorter. So you just get your little saw and just cut along there, and just make sure you get rid of this, except that one and up here. Next, what you want to do is bend it around here. When I bent it for the first time, it did break, but looking back, it does look better now it's broken. So you bend it this way, like that, and then you want a little vice grip to then bend it the other way. If it does break, which it probably will, just if you super glue it back, super glue is a bit weak on this metal, but if you super glue it, then leave it for a day and then give another coat just around the edge, and don't put too much pressure on it when you're making the model, it should be fine. So once you have done that, you want to make the with this bit of block here, which is out of wood. Just cut it out to the sides along here. Don't want to make it to the edge, as there is a little footway there. Just cut along, making sure it's a width, and it just goes over the end of the metal bit strip. You want to make it angled as well, and it is the height. If you go and base it onto the truck, it is the height of the just the height of the top of the arrow, reflective arrow on the truck. So that's the height you want it. What you also want to do is make a little bit of wood here, which is a little bit curved, as well as having the holder for the mixer generator, I think it. And this bit up here, the circular bit, is a old pencil. I can't have it painted, but it does the trick for it to be circular. This bit is a bit difficult to make a bit of wood this thin and this shape, so a bit of time, patience, and don't put too much pressure on it, as it may just snap. It did with me, but a bit of super glue fixes the problem. What else you want to do out of wood is make this bit, which is like a triangular bit. It doesn't have a bit of slope there as well. It does hard to show, but there's a bit of a gap there to let the cement drum to hold fix into it. What else you need to do to the trailer, because the wheels now are further forward, underneath the trailer you have these ridge marks. You want to get rid of this one, and these little two. You want to try to metal-file it. It's very awkward, difficult to do it, but just a bit of patience again. You should be able to get rid of it so the knees can fit in comfortably. As well as you do have these little ridge marks along here. You can see there's a gap. That's where the wheels should be. You want to get rid of these as the wheels won't be able to fit in. So once you've got rid of these three, the wheels will now be able to fit in. Moving on to the wheels, you will want to take one end and cut with the saw along here. The plastic is red inside, so permanent marker or a bit of black paint will be needed to get rid of the red when it's on there. So just cut along there, and then you've got your two wheels here and one up here. Once the wheels are cut in half, or cut along here, you want to get rid of this, about up to there, you want to get rid of this block, just leaving up to like this bit here. This will help it turn. Also, once you've done this, you want to just sand just a little bit off here, as how it is at the moment, it won't be able to twist in here, as it fits perfectly into the chassis. So you do want to just take a bit of here, and it will be able to turn. So this mudguard will be thinner than the rest, but you don't notice it once it's on the model. You will want a bit of wood up here, and here it's a bit hard to see, but this will be where the nail, which goes through one of the holes on here, goes through the hole and into the wood, and that's what makes it twist. But you don't do that yet, for later. So once you've got stuck all the wood down with super glue or any product you want, what you want to do is paint the whole thing red, except the side skirt here, which is white. Everything else should be painted red. I did paint the wheels red under here just to make it a bit more matching. This bit did wear off, but you don't really notice it underneath. So once your paint is drying or your super glue is drying, what you want to do next is go onto your computer and bring up a Word document. So you have two documents. You want one for card, which you can print on a thicker paper, and one for paper. So on the paper, you want to put things like the bits you're going to stick onto the solid surface, which don't need to be strong. So stuff like the name, fleet number, bits like fleet number, trainer number, or lights, website up here, and also you want to use plinth like that. So it's pretty much, so I've got here, got two trailer numbers and a little trailer number here, Eddie Stobart here, which goes on the big block of wood, Malden, which is a trailer company, HY Mix 3 times, you've got a cyclist and a Ford symbol. Got two lights here, as the lights on the trailer don't really match with the one on real life. You got the fleet number here, 3 number plates, name, and the 2 web addresses, and Clint name here. On the card, what you want to do is you want to make the side skirt. 2, you want to make sure they're opposites with the pedestrian and cyclist symbols. You want a cyclist be aware you want 6 Molden mud guards, which is a bit of shape, black shape, with the logos, and you just cut them up. You also want the drum here, which is edged over, and it wants to be every other one opposite. So that way up, then upside down, that way up, upside down. So that's it to show you on the card. So once you've made these and made sure they're fitted shape. So to give you a little hint on how to make sure your images and text are to scale, grab a A4 piece of paper and apply it to a screen. Don't put any pressure, just put it there. When you normally open a Word document, it will be 100%. So as we can see, it is too small. So what we do, we scale it up down here. So we go to the bottom and we scale it up. See, so 120 for me is a bit too big. So we click on the number and we can just change the percentage here to a bit more of a number. I know mine is 118, so I put that in. And now my A4 piece of paper here is exactly the same size as on the screen. So now I know that the text and pictures on the Word document will be this size in real life. So if I get my model, I can see that it is exactly the same size. So there's no printing it out and it's too big, too small. You can get it right the first time. So that is a little hint. So just going back to this bit, before you stick this bit on, you will want to make a little gap underneath where the nail will go. So just above where the hole is, you will want to just make a little gap in this so the nail can turn, because the nail won't be stuck into this bit, it will be stuck into the axle. So if it's stuck into this bit, this bit would fall off. So it has to be able to move inside there. So once you've done that and it's all stuck on, all painted, you can start making the drum. So in this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to make the drum of the truck from the front to the back. So we start the front. We want to make these little bits of the circle at the front. To do that, we want to measure the width of this bit of wood. If you're going to do it from this, so mine is 2 centimeters. So what you want to do from there is you want to find the radius, which is half of the width which is measured. So that is 1 centimeter. So what you want to do is you want to get a compass and your ruler and make the width of the compass between the pencil and the point 1 centimeter. Once you have done that, you want to get your paper and you simply just want to draw a circle on your piece of paper, like so. So that is the front. Now it is 2 centimeters wide, so it will fit on the back cut. You cut it out, that bit is done. So what we want to do now is a bit more difficult, is to make the first section of this drum. So we know that this end is 2 centimeters wide, and what we want to do is measure this end here, which is the width of the trailer. So we just measure this end, which is about 2.9 centimeters roughly. Yours might be slightly different if you use a 1/50th scale. So what you're going to do now is we want to go onto a website. So you want to go onto this website called crows-brussels.co.uk. I'll leave the link in below. So on this page you can see we have the text box where we put the measurements in and what each measurements mean. So we just measured length A, which was 2 centimeters. So because this is millimeters, we want to add a 0 to the end. So 2 with a 0. And then with length B, that was the widest part, so that was 2.9. So we put 29 in, then we put 0. And then length C is the width. So the width or length of the drum for me was 3 centimeters. so we just put 30 in here. So once you put all your measurements in, we just press calculate, and down here we got each measurement, what we're going to use it for. So once we've done that, we just put this to the side. So on your piece of paper, you want to get a ruler and a piece of pencil, and draw a length of, so on here we want the oval length, which is R2, which is 97 millimeters, so it's 9.7 centimeters long. So from 0 to 9.7, like there. We also want to use R1. So R1 was 67, so that's 6.7. So come along here and mark 6.7, which is there. So this is a bit we will be using. This whole bit here will be cut off. So from this point you want to get a protractor. So once you've got your protractors, you want to measure the angle, which for here is 53 degrees. So 53 is here. So what we do now, we draw another straight line from here to there, and you want to measure this again, 6.7. So 6.7 to 9.7 again. So from this, that is the length again. So also what you want to do, to have a bit of overlap to be able to stick the paper together, you want to add probably another one together. So it doesn't matter about the how the angle of it, just measure a bit more. So I'll just put up to here, so that's 9.7, 6.7 here. So then once we've done that, you want to get your compass again and open it wide to the 6.7, and now we can draw a nice circle where we're going to cut along. So now that is one line. Open your compass up again to the 9.7 and draw another line. So what you're going to do now is you're going to get a pair of scissors and you're going to cut along this line here, all the way along, cut along here, all the way along this bit here, along there. This bit you do not need, so I'll cut it out and come back. So now we've cut out this the cone. Mine's not very neat because it's only a practice, but make sure yours is neat or it won't match up. So what you do now is you want to get this end, this pencil end, and make sure it's a measured one. The angle length, which I know this was the angle length. Don't get your scrap piece, which is the overlay. So put it towards that line and get a bit of sellotape. So now it matches up. Get a bit of sellotape, stick it down. So in this overlap here will make it stronger, and a place to also stick it. Make sure the pencil lines are inside, and that is it. So you've made your first bit of the cone right there. So for the cylinder in the middle, which is nice and straight, so it makes it easier, we actually aren't making it yet because we need to design it on the computer for the printer. So we want to find out how the overall length of the drum all the way around. So because we know this bit is 3 centimeters, what we can do is a quick measurement, which is pi times 3, so that's pi times diameter, which is 3 is, equals, so we do it on the calculator, so pi times 3 equals 9.42. So that is the length. So when you put it on your computer, or you can hold up your piece of paper up, you want to make sure where the stove up stable is it's no longer and no shorter than 9.42. Also, make sure your measurement might be slightly different. So that is the drum. The width is just the width of your how long you want it. So moving on to the back, we just do the same again at the front. So we know this is 2.9ish. We know this bit's 2.9ish. So again, we go back onto the website and we put in this time. So length A is going to be, come back to that. So length B, we know it is the same. Length C this time is going to be slightly different. So for me, it was 1.7. So we put 17 in, and for the length A, which is a small cone, it's going to be slightly different again. So mine was roughly about 1.8. So we just put 18 in. Remember, this is all in millimeters, not centimeters. Calculate, and then we have the same again to measure what we did for the first bit cone. So that is that bit. I'm not going to draw it again because it is exactly the same, just like different measurements. So this final part is just a piece of paper rolled up small, and the width of it will be the same as the width of this small part. So once you've got all your sections, what you want to do is you want to glue this cone to the front piece of paper with a craft glue or bit of prick stick, whatever will hold it. Then you want to get a piece of wood and stick it inside the cone onto this piece of paper here. What this bit of wood will do is you'll put a nail through it and into this bit of wood here to make it able to turn. The wood doesn't have to be circular, it can just be a little bit of square wood, whatever will fit in there. Once you've put the nail through, which you can't use a hammer, you just have to like knock it in with something small enough to get into. You want to put this drum on once you've stuck it, and then you want to put this drum on again and this section as well. Don't do the red bit which holds it in. Leave that till later once this is all dried. Once this craft glue is dry, about a day, depending on what the instructions say. I went around with a bit of super glue just to make sure the strength is secure, because I did have a few times it did slightly start to break. So I would recommend putting super glue, just be careful it doesn't go onto any part of the model. So this bit of red is stuck onto the wood, so it doesn't actually move, so you don't want to do it yet. Again, this red is just a piece of paper wrapped up, and then there's another bit inside, and then a bit of paper at the front. It's just super glued together, and then once that is dried completely, then we attach it onto the bit of wood, and then insert it to the drum and attach it to the wood. So obviously each time you do a bit of section, make sure you have a bit of overlap to make sure you have the strength and somewhere to stick it. And that was it for the drum. You also want to make this bit, the shapes, obviously everything, I stick bits together. So this is one bit, then I stuck the sides on together. This bit here is separate and it's just stuck onto the wood again. Super glued again. Super glue makes it really strong, rigid, so it won't break off. Again, this bit is super glued on. You can put railings, but I felt they're a bit more difficult to put on. And the ladder should be here, but I don't know how to make a ladder completely. So you want a bit of black card here and stick it underneath. And then for this bit, this is card which I bent, and to make it stick into a pipe shape like this, I put super glue just down in the middle, so then it keeps it curved. For this bit, I just got a craft knife and just made a little hole. And then for the slots here, with little bits of paper, you want to put more super glue on them. Leave them to dry. Don't leave them on the surface because they stick to the surface. By super gluing them, it makes them harder because the paper will just rip after a few times, and they won't be able to support it. So just a bit of super glue makes it harder. Yeah. So really, to make all this paper, you do need a craft knife, but scissors will be as good. Just a craft knife makes it a bit more easy to get into tighter corners. So I took the bumper off the trailer and stuck it onto the back of the wheel. By doing that, the wheel moves with it. I just stuck all the decals onto that. Going back to the pipe again, what I've done is, to hold this piece of pipe up, all I've done is I've got a piece of paper, fold it in half. To make this bit twist, I put a nail through it, through this bit and through there, and stuck the nail actually onto that and not to this. Same with this bit of paper to hold this, and it just little holes again, which just slots the pipe in, and super glue is in the middle just to keep it curved. There's another one, I've got it with me. But so you want this pipe, and then you want two others. So side skirts, I just folded a piece of paper underneath and then just stuck it onto the bottom of the bits you should have left and painted white. So then after that, you just put all your decals on. So how I'm saying it sounds really easy to do, but it did take me several days, so don't think it is a quick task. It is a very difficult task. So yeah, so if you feel you can do it, I would recommend doing it. It looks really good after you've done it. So this was how to make the Oxford diecast Code 3, my Code 3 cement trailer. It is a very nice model. I hope you can make the same. I will leave a link below and an equation to how to make the drum. So if you're not as good at maths, just follow the equation. It should be easy enough to make. So after that is it. As I said, it sounds easy, but it does take a bit of time to make, with all the drying and fiddling bit. Like the drum's a bit hard to make, so you just got to be patient and let the glue dry. So that is it. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you have made this model. Are you going to make it from this tutorial? So until next time, see you later.